Hello, planet Earth. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We're at IDK, my BFF Jill 730. I'm Personnel Young, wishing you warm salutations and congratulations. You've made your way to the Buffington Post. Alright, today we are going to continue our coverage of Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 8 with the fourth arc in the series, which is Time of Your Life, Part 1. And it is going to be the return of Frey, Malaka Frey, the Vampire Slayer. Now, real quick, if you don't know who Malaka Frey is, go to your Buffy wiki or whomever you trust for your internet information and go read up on Frey real quick and come back. Alright, are you back? Are you ready? Okay.
I've been waiting for so long now. I finally found someone to stand by me.
We saw the writing on the wall, and we felt this magical fantasy.
Just remember,
This could be love, because I had the time of my life. I never felt this way before. Yes, I swear it's so true, and I owe it all to you.
Alright, so we pick up and Buffy is not having a good day. She's actually having a bad day. We see that she is like falling through the air and she is fighting Malaka Frey, the Vampire Slayer. So, what? We don't know. Okay, so in Scotland, we see Dawn and she appears to be having like cramps. Giant Dawn in the trees, whatever. So then we pick up with Buffy, Xander, and Willow, and they're all in the Scottish castle at their base, eating Chinese takeout and talking about the fact that they need to go to New York because Willow got this message. And Buffy's like, oh, is it from your sexy snake lady? And Willow is, of course, evasive, and she says, we have to go to New York to find the scythe, and Buffy's like, well, we already found it, we got it back, and they're like kind of walking around on eggshells around Xander because they don't want to bring up, Renee. And he's like, you know what, I'm dealing with it by myself. Just, I need to know everything about this sexy snake lady, and even if it's kinky, etc., etc. Leah bursts in and she's like, come on down to the orchard, it's dawn, trouble. So they fly down there, they're like, oh my gosh, what's wrong? And Dawn has shrunk, and so it's like, yay, but no, it's not, because Dawn is now a centaur. Okay, so then we pick up somewhere with Amy, Warren, and the masked Twilight figure, and basically they are talking about this bomb infused with magic that they are going to send at Buffy. Okay. Whatever, we go back to Scotland. Buffy and Willow are getting ready to head off to New York, and they're leaving Xander to watch after Centaur Dawn. So Buffy's talking to somebody on the phone, talking about making a meeting or whatever, but we don't know who she's talking to. So Buffy and Willow leave, and they get on this jet, and Willow's like, nice jet, Buffy, did you steal it? Buffy's like, oh, we do have some legitimate funding, etc., etc., and Willow's like, I think that this thing in New York is going to go down at midnight. And Buffy's like, why? And she's like, well, I'm a witch. We like midnight. So then, blah, blah. Buffy's like, okay, well, if it's going to happen at midnight, that'll be cool because I need a couple hours because I got this meeting with a thing, blah, blah, blah. And Willow's like, okay, keep your secrets to yourself. So, whatever. They get to New York and, oh shit, this bitch. Right. So they meet Kennedy and Kennedy's like, explaining to them, they're going to go and see Vi, who's leading the Slayers in New York, etc., etc. So, it's Buffy's first time in New York, and she's having a great time. She brought way too many clothes. She's, putting her head out of the limos, and I'm king of the world! Because, she's enjoying her first time in New York. So anyway, they get to Vi, and Vi's like, oh, we've been experiencing all this extra demonic activity, whatever. So Willow explains that what's happening is probably a temporal event, this anomaly that happens somewhere in time, but it's deadlocked spatially. And so basically, the ripples from this event in time are basically what's causing all of this extra demonic activity. And so Willow's explaining this to everybody, and Buffy and Kennedy are like sitting there, and Kennedy's basically like, keep your hands off my Willow. I know you've been dipping your fingers in the lady parts, but, you know, don't be dipping into my Willow Kool-Aid. So, whatever. Xander and Dawn back in Scotland are talking, and Dawn's like, oh, poor me, woe is me, I'm a horse, and Xander's like, dude, like, you look amazing. You look so awesome as a centaur. Like, do you really not realize this? You don't have to be such a whiny little bitch about it. And she doesn't like that, so she goes galloping off down the countryside. So whatever. He turns around to go back to the castle when, holy shit, Amy and Warren's magic bomb, like, boom, hits the castle, and he's like, holy shit. Back in New York, on the rooftop, Willow is talking to Kennedy, and we find out that Kennedy doesn't know anything about this sexy snake lady that's been talking to Willow. And Willow's saying that something helpful is going to hopefully come through on one of these ripples at midnight, okay? And so Buffy is like missing. God knows what she's doing at this meeting of hers. But she comes back, she's dressed all up in this sexy, like, yellow dress, whatever. And so she's like, I'm sorry I'm late. And then, poof, she just disappears. And in her place, there is this, like, demon. And they're like, what the fuck? So Buffy is, like, moving through space. Or is it time? And then whatever, she, like, stops. And then this, like, demon attacks the Slayers that it left behind, right? And then Buffy gets knocked the fuck out in wherever she is, and what the fuck? It's Frey. Whatever. That's where we leave. We see that Frey is like standing over Buffy, about to kick her ass. So, what the heck? We don't know what the what is. We don't know who Buffy went to go and meet in New York. We don't know what's going on with Dawn and her centaur thing, but apparently they think there's gonna be like 3 magical forms, and all this crazy cray. Frey's trying to kill Buffy. Buffy's like, please don't kill me. Let's see how this all works out in Time of Your Life, Part 2. And that's pretty much all for Time of Your Life, Part 1. So stay tuned for Part 2 coming right up. I'm Bresnell Young. You can come right back to the Buffington Post for Buffy the Vampire Slayer reviews, Angel and Faith reviews, Buffyverse discussions on the other Slayers, and of course the continued coverage of Season 8. I'm Bresnell Young. You can find me on Facebook, Bresnell Young, or on Twitter, at ThePWitty. You can come right back here to IDK, my BFF Jill 730, anytime. I hope you're having a great 2015 so far, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.
Listen up, motherfuckers. You have 5 seconds to catch your breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Number 1, drums go bump, bump, bump. This beat here will make your home pump jump. If you's a fat one, put your clothes back on before you start putting potholes in my lawn. Oh my gosh, I'm under attack like my name was Saddam. I am the bomb from New York to Milan, and I can write a song sicker than Jeffrey Dawn. Who touched my car alarm? Breaking my car, you will hear Viper arm. I've been a superstar since Daddy King was raw. I'm live on stage, come on and give me some applause.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. You all are so wonderful.
Come on, pass the Dutch, baby. Shake, shake, shake your stuff, Pop that, jiggle that fat. Don't stop, get it till your clothes get wet.